Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my YouTube channel and on my video today. Now, the past couple videos we have uploaded on my YouTube channel have been discussing the culture around family channels, or mommy vloggers as a lot of people call it, and how dangerous and exploitative they are. And a lot of you have been engaging in the conversation, and I thank you so much for that. And a lot of people were sending me that there is allegedly that there was a member of a family channel, so one of the children of a family channel, while they grew up, they did an anonymous kind of tip and an anonymous post on Reddit talking about the reality and what it was actually like to be a child that was exploited online in this new age of media that is, you know, family channels and vlogging, and it's such a new medium and it's such a new culture that a lot of people don't know how to have the conversation. A lot of people kind of relate it to Disney stars and how Disney stars, you know, what they're doing is work. You know, they are making so much money for, or their parents so much money, you know, for shooting these TV shows. And there is laws and regulations in place that basically make it so that they can't, you know, be extremely overworked or all these different things. And that was because children of the past were extremely overworked. And the thing is, family channels are children working. Like, the children are the sole income for the parents. People are clicking those videos to watch the children grow up, to see the children go to Disneyland, to see the children cry, to see them experience their first things, and all these kind of, which in itself is like, you're like watching a stranger grow up on the internet from birth. It's very weird, I've talked about it, but I thought this was really interesting, and there's a big conversation happening over on Reddit because of this, and I thought we should just jump right into it. Now, a lot of people I know are going to speculate about who they think this child is, or, you know, this person that has, you know, grown up. This is a girl who is 17 years old, so about to be 18, and this was posted 13 days ago. Now, again, we're not saying who we even think this is, so I don't even know if I have to be like allegedly, but I'm just gonna say this is an alleged, you know, 17-year-old who is a part of a family channel. But again, we don't know if this is true, but again, a lot of people are engaging in this conversation because we have it, there's 22,000 upvotes, and there's 2,000 comments on this, so a lot of people are talking about this. And here's what I want to say. I'm not going to spend this video speculating on what family channel this could be, you know, what family channel has a 17-year-old girl, all these different things, because I don't think that that's necessarily needed. I just want to hear what they are saying and listen and talk about it and continue the conversation that they obviously, you know, want to have without having to be like, oh, it could be that person or that person or that person, because if it is one of those people, then that's getting them in trouble. This is an anonymous post, and we're just gonna, okay, let's jump into it. So, this is on the you know, True Off My Chest. So basically, you know, openly talking about things that are happening in your life subreddit. Now, this is from Throwaway Listeners. That is the name of the username. And it says, I was brought up by family vloggers and it ruined my life. Now, this is, again, this is predictable for a lot of people, and the reason we continue to harp on about this is because the parents know that this is eventually how their children will feel. Their children will feel like a product, they'll feel exploited, but the parents continue to do it because the children have given them, you know, like a YouTube redemption arc, or maybe a new peak on YouTube, or so much money. And that's why I'll continue to go after these people on YouTube, and it's actually something I am just incredibly passionate about, and I will continue to make these videos. I don't care if they're your favorite creators, because they know what they're doing is wrong. They're exploiting their children, they're not protecting their children, and it's dangerous. So, anyway, I'm gonna go into so many little, like, just like little, like, 2-second rants here and there, because this, anyway. So I'm a female 17. I was brought up by my parents who family vlogged. They started vlogging when I was around the age of 7 and stopped 3 years ago. I want to hugely avoid speculation as to who my family is, so I won't be sharing much more detail. The channel had over 500,000 subscribers. My parents finally stopped when there was a mental health crisis in my family as a result of the channel, but this was never shared online. If you're a family vlogger or are considering it, please read this and consider my perspective as the child, being the one that's being exploited. I've wanted to share this for a while, but I didn't know how to. I loved it for a while. I loved being the center of attention while the camera was on, and I loved getting new toys. Now again, this is a thing that the parents do, which is they give, you know, opportunities and presents and stuff like that, but it's solely for content. So these children are gonna grow up and realize that, oh, my parents weren't bringing me to Disneyland because I was being good, or they weren't getting me this new present because I did good in school. They were doing this so that I could be excited on camera, and then people could watch me be excited on camera, and that was content. And to grow up knowing that everyone down to your parents treated you like a product and exploited you from birth is an incredibly psychological thing that is going to be a new wave of trauma that younger kids are going to have to work through. And a lot of people are commenting on my videos being like, my parents never really, or my guardians, or anyone who looked after me, raised me, never posted me online that much. But still, I look back on if, you know, that person who was looking after me maybe had like an embarrassing picture of me on Facebook whenever I was a child. It makes me uncomfortable that even their friend group saw it. And that, it just poses the question that family channels exploit these embarrassing moments of their kids because it gets more views. You know, if a kid does something wrong, that's, you know, a little bit of drama that, you know, will get more people to click, and it's just like ruining these children's lives. And the parents see that it's wrong, but they don't care because they're making so much money. Let's go on. I was loving it and I was getting new toys. I stopped loving it when I realized that the only time I got attention was when the camera was on. And the only time I got toys was whenever I performed in a way that I was meant to. And that just kind of, it just breaks my heart. And I can't believe that there's not regulations on social media yet and that YouTube haven't really done anything. If you remember, YouTube made a stance against family vloggers and children being online a couple years ago when they started like demonetizing the videos that, you know, solely focused on children, and they demonetized and deactivated the comment sections. This was basically their way of deterring, people from wanting to create this type of content because they're like, you know, we're not going to benefit you. But in years past, you know, or years gone by, the comments are back on. The family channels are making the most amount of money they've ever made, and it's almost an incentive for people to have children now. And the incentive is, my career's dying, let me pop out a kid. I can document the pregnancy, I can document the birth, I can document the child growing up, and people are now watching me because of the child, and they forget about, you know, the fact that my career was dying. Trisha Paytas. So we just have so many examples of this over the years, right? And parents literally using their kids solely as a way to save their career. And that is so terrifying. I'm going to list some things that happened and how it affected us. Number 1, my siblings and I were so paranoid that there were cameras on us that the only place we felt comfortable changing was in the bathroom with the lights off. Number 2, I couldn't talk to my mom about anything when my mental health crisis began, and it started to get really bad because I was too scared that she would then share it online. So, all these things we're hearing is what family channels and, you know, vloggers of their children have done online. They tell them that their child had a bad day. The child has to tell the YouTube audience about it, or the mother or father or guardian or whoever looking after the kids vlogging them will tell the audience for them. Because again, these people have, and it's always the YouTubers who are like past their peak. They have no creativity anymore, they have no spice in their career, so having a kid, they can solely base themselves and their entire identity around the child. But only when the cameras are on. And that full point of like, people say, you shouldn't, you know, work with your family, or you shouldn't, you know, work with your partner, and, you know, it just gets messy mixing business with whatever. Okay, now let's apply that with family, and you're all in one big business, in one big unit, that the children aren't even fully able to comprehend. Most of the time will just be the parents filming the children because they're together all the time anyway, and it's just like, it's not even a healthy family privately. Anyway. My mother didn't ever care about how upset I was. I was about to say mom and mother at the same time because reading mom is so unnatural for me, so I went mother. My mom didn't care that I was ever upset. Number 1, 2, 3? Okay, number 3. My mom considered homeschooling us so that she had more time throughout the day to make content. Now, we see this a lot as well, where family channels decide to homeschool their kids so that they can be at home all day to record them and make content. Balance your family. So, there's an example of this for every single fucking thing we're reading off here. Alright, okay. The next one. My best friend's mom said she didn't want my friend to be my friend anymore because my mom kept filming her without her permission. My mom didn't care how upset I was that I was losing my friends. The next one. I didn't have a single private moment ever. My mom woke me up with the camera on, and she often filmed me right until I went to bed. Again, so many examples of that. The next one. She also filmed us in the bath when we were younger, and although she tried to get it off the internet, it's downloaded and uploaded and online forever. And that's also a thing where it's like, the children can get to the stage of 18 or 21 and pursue legal action against their parents and get these videos taken down. But again, there are so many people that would have made fan edits to these videos, and those clips are online, or upload them on Twitter, or upload them on TikTok, uploaded people saving the videos for dangerous reasons as well, and maybe fans saving them for innocent reasons. It just kind of prolongs the life of these videos that, you know, the child would have then worked hard to delete, but they're everywhere because the parents don't care about that. Anyway, next one. She shared when I got my period, even though I told her I didn't want to. And again, off the top of my head, Ballinger family. One of their most viewed videos, and whenever you type in their name on YouTube, one of the most recommended things is the name of their eldest daughter and the word period, because they had talked about all that apparently, or maybe they hadn't, and just people were, see, like, I don't watch family channels. I just see whenever, you know, things are being sent to me, because I can't even find enjoyment in that content. Like, I just think it's sick. But anyway, literally, it's like Ballinger family on YouTube, and it's like the girl's name, period. And now, I don't know if they've talked about it, they've filmed during it or whatever, but basically there is enough people on YouTube that were looking for that type of niche content from them that should show them the amount of people that are watching their videos in a scary, dangerous way. But years later, they're still filming every single thing. Next one. This is the final one. Someone attempted to kidnap my sister and found it easy because they knew her full name, her address, her school, and details about her. My sister didn't know he was a stranger because he knew so much about her. And again, so many examples of YouTubers literally telling every single thing that they're gonna do, and where we go to cafes, where, you know, the area of the school is, you know, because you can base it where, you know, they're going to Starbucks, or the park they're going to, or the child's routine, or what room the child sleeps in. Like, even down to that, like, if people will literally learn the floor plan of your house because you show it so much, and if someone was to ever come into your house, they know which rooms entail what things. There's obviously a lot more. Feel free to ask any questions that you do have. Okay, so there is a lot of responses to this, as you can imagine. I did think it would be interesting, however, to kind of read through the, like, the most, you know, busy responses, and we're gonna go through a couple of them. So someone said, I'm so sorry that you went through this. My daughter has watched some of these family vloggers, and I find it very cringe. There's one in particular, shot of the Jaegers, or Jaegers, shot of the Jaegers. I feel like I'm like doing like Yanny, Laurel, that make me sick. There's an entire storyline called The Doll Maker about a haunted doll that keeps following them around, and I keep thinking, do these kids even understand that it's all pretend? The mother is running around screaming as though it's real, and some of the kids are so small that they would be too young to understand. It's clear that the mother does it only for money, and it makes me ill. There are many others like this, but your story makes me think of them in particular. I hope you and your sibling can heal from your experience. And then we have someone that said, jumping on that, I do want to say that it's not just vloggers putting their families at risk. I watched a TikTok where a woman spoke about why she wasn't going to post her toddler on the platform anymore. Hundreds of thousands of people had saved and favorited that one video in particular. I think she was at the pool with her toddler, and the toddler was featured in it. Most of the usernames of those who saved the video profile were blanks with no content or profile pictures. It really scared her because she looked into other popular videos of kids and had, you know, seen that they were all being saved so many times. Very creepy as fuck. Now we have another one. I'm just going to scroll down a bit to kind of see the general consensus here. So someone said, my daughter loves these kind of videos. Honestly, they disgust me so much. They promote such a materialistic agenda. My daughter would watch them and say, why can't we buy this? Why can't we have what that girl has, what that guy has? You know, about the children getting so many toys per day. And why can't we go here? I explained to her that they make money from doing these videos, and she begged me to let her make YouTube videos so she could get money and free toys. I tried to explain the dangers of being exposed like that and the bad things that could happen, but I don't think she fully understands the risk because she's a child. I had to block those videos and so many other family vlogging channels because it was becoming a very dangerous problem. But it seems that for every one becoming, you know, a problem that I then block, there's 5 more. Smiling families popping up in their place, showing my kids all the recent toys that they've got from sponsorships. It's exhausting and I'm fighting this battle alone. Her dad and I are separated and he doesn't care about the content she's watching. He bought her own iPad so she can watch what she wants, when she wants, and when he's at her, or when she's at her house. Sorry, his house. It's so hard to convince him of the dangers of seeing this online. And a lot of people are agreeing with this, where it's like, it's setting a false, you know, pretense just for young kids watching about, you know, how ideal these family channel, you know, families' lives seem. And it's the complete opposite, you know, when you really know the truth. But they're promoting this to young kids who then have an unrealistic expectation of what their life should be. And it's like, the mental health ramifications in a couple of years, and you know what happens to the brains of kids who are solely watching this type of content, it's going to be studied in a couple of years. And I genuinely cannot wait to see the day that there's no content online that simply revolves around watching a child grow up. I cannot wait for that day. Now, a lot of people are saying that they've stopped posting their children online, and that there's just so many pressures from society, friends, and family to show off your life and children, but I feel that it should be about, you know, your about your private life and not really focusing on the world needing to see your child. Now, again, someone said the exploitation of kids by many family vloggers is so fucked, and the lifestyle many people live to vlog is also fucked. Not everything needs to be on camera for, you know, people to see. I really want them to be canned, so basically to get rid of them. We'll read out like one more here. And a lot of people are just agreeing and saying how horrific this is. There's a lot of people saying that, you know, Disney Channel kids, like I said, have, you know, laws in place to protect them, but Family Channel kids don't, who are arguably, you know, they're not learning lines, well, some of them are, Ace Family, but it's like they're working 24/7. You know, Disney kids will go to set and work and come back. Family Channel kids never turn off. I think the only time, if they're not homeschooled, that they have a bit of peace and quiet is when they're at school. Now, I know how much I hated school, and so if that was my only ever safe space because my family were exploiting me so much, that again comes with so many mental health ramifications. Oh my goodness. So someone said, I've always thought about growing up in the spotlight would affect vlogger kids. I'm so sorry to hear your experiences. I've unfollowed most family-focused accounts on social media. Always used to love them, but it just started to feel really icky when parents would say something to the kids like, wave to your friends, who would, you know, they would be the toddlers that they're saying this to. And I think that it's just really weird, and this is very creepy, and it's very invasive, and I feel that way whenever I click them. Alright, okay. So, a lot of people are saying, did your parents think did your parents think that sharing you for the internet would benefit you in some ways, or did they realize that they were only doing it for themselves? And the person responds and says, in a way, it did benefit us both for a while. My parents both grew up with no money, so knowing that they were bringing us up with endless amount of money would, you know, make sense and kind of, you know, made us feel better. So again, stresses of parents being put on kids. I know a lot of people think that the experiences and vacations we were able to go on would make it all worth it, but they weren't, because they just still all revolved around the camera. We went on vacation a lot, however, you know, I only have very few happy memories. And someone says, interesting, sorry if this is too of an invasive question, but was it their primary income source? And the person responds and says, it wasn't at first, but I think it was, you know, not their intention for this to become their job, but whenever it did and made money online, it was their, you know, primary source. So again, I'm not even going to read anymore because it really does just make me angry, and if you want, I can make a follow-up video on this and kind of dive into it deeper, but just hearing all this is really upsetting, and it's like, I cannot imagine the pressure that would be on my shoulders if I was the sole reason that my parents were able to afford anything. And not even just afford anything, but be able to live a luxurious life. And then that feeds greed. And then the parents want to be greedier and then, you know, child perform more. And it's like, it'll literally be a couple years, however long it takes, but there will be like an eradication of family channels on every single social media platform. I think for as long as it starts to make a lot of money for the platforms, they're gonna stay, but there is going to be lawsuits eventually. When these kids grow up, class action lawsuit of them all coming together, and the parents better watch out, because the parents are spending the money, they're not saving it to, you know, give to the kids when they're 18 or grow up or whatever, because they're buying all these supercars and super mansions, but don't worry, the kids are living in them too, and you know, they ride around in the cars. No, it doesn't work like that. I genuinely want to know, for those out there that watch family channels, because I'm sure, say a couple thousand people watch this video. I'm sure that there's maybe 100 people, 50 people, whatever, maybe even a couple thousand, who absolutely love watching family channels. I want to know your reasoning for it. I genuinely want to know your reasoning for it. Because it doesn't seem ethical to watch knowing that the children have no idea what is going on. So let me know. And for everyone else, let me know your opinion too. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. And to this person, I'm wishing you all the best. And just know that you have a shit ton of people, like you can see in this Reddit thread, behind you rallying, supporting you. Alright, muckers, I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.